You are being robbed right now. And the craziest part? You handed over the gun, opened the vault, and set up the automatic payments for it. Look, I get it. It's just $5 here and $10 there. You're busy. We all are. But right now, there is a silent leak in your bank account, and it is draining the money you work way too hard for. Corporations have weaponized human psychology against you. They employ teams of neuroscientists to figure out exactly how to get your credit card on file, and they know exactly how to make you feel too paralyzed to cancel. Today, we are taking our power back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact subscription audit. No boring spreadsheets, no financial guilt trips. Just a fast, psychological reset that is going to put anywhere from $50 to $200 back in your pocket today. But before we get to the actual cancellation hack, a trick that literally forces internet and phone providers to drop your bill, you have to understand the trap you are currently sitting in. Because if you don't understand the invisible tripwire these companies planted in your brain, you will just sign up for another useless app next week. There is a specific psychological phenomenon stealing your money, and I guarantee you fell for it this morning. It's called the ostrich effect. It's burying your head in the sand because checking your bank statement causes literal, physical anxiety. You don't look at your credit card bill because you don't want to feel the pain of seeing how much you spent on Uber Eats, so the $15 Netflix charge and the $40 in used gym membership just slide right by. It's a defense mechanism. But it goes deeper than that. Why do we hold on to subscriptions we know we aren't using? Reason number 1, the sunk cost fallacy. You bought that language learning app 6 months ago. You haven't opened it since February. But you tell yourself, if I cancel now, I admit defeat. I'm a failure. But I'm going to learn Spanish next week, I swear. Listen to me, you are paying a monthly tax for the fantasy of who you want to be, rather than the reality of who you are. You are paying a corporation to hold on to your guilt. But guilt isn't the only thing keeping you subscribed. Reason number 2 is something called the friction barrier. Have you ever noticed that it takes exactly one click, using Apple Pay or Google Pay, to sign up for a service? It's frictionless. But what happens when you try to leave? Suddenly, there is no cancel button. Suddenly, you have to call a 1-800 number. But what if I told you there is a legal loophole to bypass the retention specialist completely? We are going to use a massive corporate weakness against them in just a minute. But first, to use that loophole, you have to shock your brain out of its digital coma. We are about to start the physical audit. Step 1 is the physical printout. I need you to do something that feels incredibly old school. Do not do this on a screen. Open your bank app and print the last 30 days of your checking account and credit card statements. If you don't have a printer, get a piece of physical paper and write down every single recurring charge. Why physical? Why am I making you waste ink and paper? Because scrolling on a glass screen doesn't register in the primal part of your brain as real money. It feels like monopoly money. Digital numbers don't trigger your survival instincts. But holding a piece of paper does. But just looking at the paper isn't enough to break the spell. You need to apply a specific filtering system to these numbers. If you do this wrong, you'll end up canceling things that actually make you money, and keeping the parasites that are bleeding you dry. Here is how you do it safely. Step 2 is the traffic light system. Grab a green, red, and yellow highlighter. We are playing a brutal game of keep, kill, or negotiate. Green is keep. This is your rent, your groceries, the Spotify you use every single day on your commute. These are the things that bring actual, undeniable value, sanity, or survival to your life. Do not touch the greens. Red is kill. These are the parasites. The gym you haven't visited since January. The free trial that rolled over into a $14.99 charge. The third streaming service you only bought to watch one specific show that ended 3 months ago. You are going to strike a thick red line right through them. Be ruthless. Give yourself permission to cancel it today. Tell yourself, I can always sign up again tomorrow if I really miss it. Spoiler alert, you won't. Now, You have your greens and your reds. But here is the secret: the reds aren't actually where you are losing the most money. The biggest financial drain in your life right now is hiding in plain sight. It's the things you actually need. It's the yellows. Your internet bill, your car insurance, your cell phone plan. Things you cannot cancel, but I can promise you, you are overpaying for. Why? Because companies actively punish loyalty. If you've been with the same internet provider for 3 years, you are paying hundreds of dollars more than the guy who signed up yesterday. But there is a 3-sentence script you can read to them on the phone today that will instantly slash your bill. However, if you use the wrong word, they will lock you into a brand new 12-month contract at a higher rate. Here is the exact script you are going to use for those yellows, and the exact trap you need to avoid. You call them up and say this: "Hi, I'm reviewing my budget and my bill has gotten too high. I saw your competitor is offering this exact same service for X amount. I'd love to stay with you, but I need to cancel today unless you can match it." Now, here is the trap. Do not ask, "Can I get a discount?" If you ask for a discount, they are trained to say no, or worse, they will offer you an upgrade that sounds like a deal but actually locks you into a brand new 12-month contract with hidden fees. You must use the word cancel. You don't have to be mean. Just be firm. But what happens when the retention agent calls your bluff? Because about 30% of the time, they will test you. They will say, "Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me go ahead and process that cancellation for you right now." Most people completely panic here. They back down, say, "Never mind," and hang up. But there is a one-word psychological tactic you need to use in this exact moment to make them instantly pivot and beg you to stay. We have all been in this situation. You are on the phone, your heart rate spikes, your palms get sweaty. You don't actually want to cancel your internet, you need it for work tomorrow. The corporation knows you are scared to lose your service. They are banking on your fear of inconvenience. The agent is sitting there, staring at their screen, waiting for you to crack. How do you flip the power dynamic back to you, completely disarm their script, and get that lower price without actually losing your internet? You use the flinch. When they say they are going to cancel it, you simply say, "Okay, what is the effective date my service will shut off?" And then, you shut up. You let the silence hang. Do not say another word. In negotiation psychology, the first person to speak to fill the awkward silence loses. Here is the reality base: that agent's computer has a churn metric. Their performance bonus is tied to saving accounts. If they let you walk, they get penalized. 9 times out of 10, that prolonged, confident silence makes them suddenly remember to check with their manager, and miraculously, they find a loyalty credit to drop your bill by $20 a month. That took you 5 minutes, and you just saved $240 a year. So you've negotiated your yellows. You've slashed your bills. But remember those reds we talked about? The parasitic subscriptions you crossed out on your paper? Just crossing them out doesn't stop the charge. And when you go to actually cancel them, you are going to face that dark patterned maze. Some of you might just delete the app off your phone home screen, thinking that stops the billing. Let me be incredibly clear: deleting the app does absolutely nothing. They are still charging you. Tech companies use UI/UX design, literally the way buttons are colored, hidden, and placed, to manipulate you into staying subscribed. They make the upgrade button massive and bright green, and the cancel button a tiny, gray, transparent text link at the very bottom of a page you have to scroll 5 times to find. But there is a hidden menu deep inside your smartphone settings right now. It is intentionally buried by the tech giants because they take a 30% cut of every subscription you forget about. If you don't know exactly where to look, you could be paying for a meditation app or a photo editor you deleted 3 years ago. Let's dig it up. Grab your phone right now. If you are on an iPhone, do not open the apps themselves to cancel. Go to your phone's main settings. Tap your name at the very top of the screen. Now tap Subscriptions. Boom. It is all right there in one centralized list. If you are on Android, open the Google Play Store, tap your profile icon, and hit Payments and Subscriptions. Look at that list. I guarantee you, right now, there is at least one active subscription for an app that isn't even installed on your device anymore. Hit cancel. Right now. Reclaim that cash. You are doing great. You are finding the leaks. But here is where we need to completely rewire your brain for the rest of your life. Because right now, you are looking at a $10 saving and thinking, okay, nice, I can buy a sandwich today. If you keep thinking like that, you will always be struggling. You need to understand the true, terrifying cost of that $10. It is not $10. It is tens of thousands of dollars. How? Our brains are evolutionarily wired for immediate survival. We think in the short term. $10 feels like a rounding error. It feels like nothing. But wealthy people do not think in days or months. They think in decades. I want to show you the math of how a single, forgotten, $15 streaming service is literally robbing you of your future freedom. Once you see this equation, it will completely ruin your ability to mindlessly subscribe to things ever again. Let's do the math together. That $15 streaming service you barely watch isn't $15. It's $180 a year. If you complete this 10-minute audit today, and you find just $50 a month in useless subscriptions and negotiated bills, which almost everyone does, that is $600 a year. But it does not stop there. If you took that $50 a month and put it into a basic S&P 500 index fund instead of funding some billionaire's yacht, with an average historical return of 8% over 20 years, that little bit of nothing compound interests into nearly $30,000. Are your unused, forgotten subscriptions worth $30,000 of your future wealth? You are trading your financial independence for a gym you don't go to and a premium delivery service you use twice a year. So the question isn't, can I afford $15? The real question is this app worth stealing 30 grand from my older self? But wait. What if you don't even have the $50 to invest? What if your bank account is already in the negative, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and doing this audit just makes you feel sick to your stomach? How do you audit your life when you feel like you are already drowning, and every charge is a reminder of a financial mistake? We are going to tackle the hardest, most unspoken part of personal finance next, the shame cycle. Let's talk about the shame cycle. If you are sitting there with a negative bank balance, looking at past charges for things you didn't use, your brain is flooding your body with cortisol, the stress hormone. You feel a literal tightness in your chest. You start beating yourself up, saying, I'm so stupid with money. I can't do anything right. Listen to me very closely, stop. Take a deep breath. You are not stupid. You were targeted by a multi-billion-dollar marketing machine designed by psychologists specifically to make you fail. Today is not about judging yesterday's mistakes, today is a zero-based reset. When you look at those red marks on your paper, I don't want you to feel shame. I want you to feel anger. Get mad. Get mad that these companies tricked you, and use that anger as fuel to hit the cancel button. You are forgiving your past self, and you are aggressively protecting your future self. That physical anxiety you feel? That is weakness leaving your bank account. But wait. What if we swing the pendulum too far the other way? Some financial gurus will tell you to cancel absolutely everything. No Netflix, no Spotify, eat rice and beans, and stare at a blank wall until you are a millionaire. But if you do that, you are going to fall into a psychological trap that is actually far more dangerous than overspending by $10. It's called frugal fatigue. If you strip every single piece of joy out of your life, your brain will eventually snap. It's exactly like a crash diet. You starve yourself of carbs for 2 weeks, and then one night you wake up at 2 a.m. and eat an entire cake. If you cancel everything you love, you will eventually binge spend hundreds of dollars on something impulsive just to feel something. So, how do we keep the things that actually bring us joy, without feeling guilty, and still save money? How do you justify keeping that $20 a month premium subscription when I just told you it could be worth thousands of dollars in the future? You use the value per hour formula. This is the ultimate test for your green highlights, the things you chose to keep. Take the monthly cost of the subscription and divide it by the hours you actually use it. If you pay $15 a month for Netflix, and you watch 30 hours of shows a month, you are paying 50 cents an hour for premium entertainment. That is an incredibly high return on investment for your happiness. Keep it guilt-free. But if you pay $150 a month for a boutique gym, and you only go twice a month for 1 hour, you are paying $75 an hour to rent a treadmill. Suddenly, the math makes the decision for you. It removes the emotion. Keep the cheap joy, kill the expensive guilt. Alright, you've audited the past. You've cancelled the reds. You've negotiated the yellows. You've justified the greens. Your bank account is finally clean. But the audit isn't over. Because tomorrow, you are going to be scrolling online, and you are going to see an ad for an incredible new app with a 7-day free trial. We all know how free trials work. They aren't free. They are a psychological bear trap. They demand your credit card information up front because they are banking 100% on you forgetting to cancel on day 6. If you don't build a defense system right now, you will be back at square one in exactly 30 days. You need a way to sign up for free trials, get the free stuff, and guarantee that the company literally cannot charge you a single penny when the trial ends, even if you completely forget about it. How do you make your wallet bulletproof? You use virtual credit cards, also known as privacy cards. Most major banks offer this feature in their app now, or you can use secure third-party services. A virtual card generates a fake credit card number linked to your real account, but here is the magic trick: you can set a strict spending limit of $1, or you can set it to auto-pause after a single use. When that shady app asks for your card for a free trial, you give them the virtual number. On day 7, when they try to quietly hit you with a $99 annual fee, the card declines. They get blocked, your real money is safe, and you didn't even have to remember to log in and talk to Greg, the retention specialist. You just automated your financial defense. We just covered the psychology, the physical audit, the negotiation scripts, and the virtual defense shields. Your mind is sharp, and your wallet is closed. But none of this means anything if you just close this video and go back to scrolling. Here is my challenge to you. The psychological momentum is at its peak right now. Do not put this in your watch later mental file. Pause this video, look at your bank app, and find just one thing to cancel. Break the seal. Feel that dopamine hit of taking your power, and your money, back from the corporations. When you do it, I want you to come down to the comments and tell me exactly how much money you saved today. Let's create a massive wall of wins down there. If someone sees you saved $120, it's going to motivate them to do the exact same thing. If this video woke you up and gave you a reality check, hit that like button. It's a free subscription that actively helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you want to keep mastering your money, beating the system, and taking back your future. Stop letting them rob you. Go cancel something right now. I will see you in the next one.